The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I went on a Shabbaton someplace really far out, and someone told me that there's a prison nearby. Can you go visit whoever? I'm picking a name out of the hat, not the real name. Can you go visit Chaim? So I said, it's not for me, visiting prisons. You have to have a stomach for it. He said, come on, it's on your way. It's 20 minutes out of your way. It's very important. I said, fine, I'll go visit Chaim. Tell me what I need. Then he calls me back and says, sorry, it won't work. Can you do it Sunday morning on the way back? Yeah, on Friday I won't have time. So he says he only has visiting every second Sunday, so it won't work. And this is not his Sunday. Okay, nish is nish. So here I am, I'm driving back Sunday morning in a monsoon. And it's like 4 or 5 hours to get back to New York, and I'm about to put on my towels and film, my phone rings. He goes, why'd you pick up your phone? I said, I'm sorry, it was just like, it was pouring. What's up? He says, did you go visit him? No, you told me that it's every second Sunday. It's not his Sunday. We got like I don't know how you call it, a variance. We got permission for you to go. Oh, sorry. I said, I'm in New York already. So, wait, told you I was going to go because it was 20 minutes out of my way. But now I'm like, 5 hours out of my way. So he says to me, oh, I'm sorry. You only do mitzvahs when it's 20 minutes out of your way. You don't do it when it's what the limit is. Oh, don't do that to me. So I wound up driving back 5 hours away. And I come up there and I come in and there's this Oig Melech HaBashan sitting there, all three of them. And he looks at me, what are you here for? I'm visiting Chaim, so-and-so. I had all the information. He goes, well, you can't see him today. I just drove back 5 hours. So I said, he probably thinks because this is not his Sunday. So I began to explain to him as, what's Schneitzer gegeben? There's a variant. Because I know, you can't go in. I said, why not? He got very angry. There's no place in the visiting room. Because if it says occupancy no more than 30 people, and one of them is as big as 2 people, so 28 people, and that's it. So I said, could I stand? Like, there's no seats. He gets up, and when he got up, I saw how tall he is. And he starts screaming at the top of his lungs. And he says, if you don't get off federal property, I'll write you up. I don't know what that means. He's going to write me up. I had no idea. Text out a big crayon, or I don't know what it meant. But I decided to leave. He didn't have much of a choice. He had 2 people escort me out. Thought I would wait in the car and then out. So I leave the compound and I call the Askin and I say, he didn't let me in. Who? That guy, he's such a Russia anti-Semite, back and forth. Okay, it's nish. And I was really like uptight and it was a long drive back and forth. I managed to put my head down in the car for a while. I woke up, it's around 2:30. So I called back the Askin and I said, I see there are cars leaving. I presume there's now seats. I didn't see cars coming. Think I can go back up and ask him now, maybe this place? He said to me, usually the last hour they don't let people in. I said, he threatened to write me up. What does that mean? That means he gives you a ticket. You can never come back into a prison again. So that's not bad. I don't mind a ticket. That's a good ticket. It's a good ticket to have. I said, what's the worst he could do to me? He could scream at me and throw me out and ban me from coming to visit him. Well, okay. What do I have to do? So I went up. And on my way up, I pulled over to the side, and I was really like a little, emotional. This whole thing back and forth, and the way he yelled at me in front of everyone, threatened, and I just started to cry. And I said like this. I said, Rabbi Shalom. I said, there's no question in my mind that the problem here is, there's one problem here. The problem here is, I am not zoicha to be this mitzvah for Chaim. It has to be. Why is that Chaim's fault? Why should Chaim suffer? Because I'm not the one. I don't believe for one split second that Oig Melech HaBashan, whoever that is the one that's stopping me. You said I can't go. I can't do this mitzvah now. So I did something wrong. So why should Chaim suffer? And I was like, I really cried. It was like hot tears. And I decided I'm going. And I walk in, and I'm ready. I'm waiting for the big crayon to come and start writing on me. And he goes, all right. He starts giving me a bunch of papers to fill out. Then he goes, ID. And then I realized I was away for Shabbos, and I came home and I changed into my weekday pants. and my wallet was in my Shabbos pants, in the laundry basket. I drove the whole way without a license. Someone's going to come visit me soon. And he goes, ID. And I'm like, what's the problem? You don't want to know. So just to stall, because I said, I think I left it in the car. So finally he says, all right, just go in. Now, I came down, I sat down, I told Chaim the story, and Chaim said, again, I'm not using real names, and Chaim said, it's impossible. Not him. No way. Okay, they had my name from before, I was once there, it was Lored. What the point is, he said, anyone would accommodate, no way him. I said, how did it happen? He said, you know why it happened, Chaim? Because I got slapped in the face, and I closed my eyes, and I just said, Rabbi Hashem, I know it's you. I know it's you. It's not him. And once you say, Rabbi Hashem, I know it's you, I'm telling you, things change. Okay? Things change.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org